Hello, I'm Chef Spencer Hinkle, and welcome to my backyard on the beautiful Gulf Coast of Florida, where we bring you the latest edition of Lux Chef. Today I'm joined by Dale Sanders, lifestyle and travel editor at LuxBeat magazine, who will be filming this episode. So let's head into the kitchen and start cooking. Greetings and welcome to another episode of Lux Chef. I'm Chef Spencer Hinkle, and today I want to share a recipe with you that I learned a number of years ago from watching Chef Michael LaMonaco. It's pan-roasted salmon with a Dijon mustard maple syrup sauce. It's so good. And it's not difficult, and if you've never done it before, I want to introduce you to a technique called pan roasting, which once you get onto it, you will use it all the time. You'll use it for cooking pork, beef, chicken, or anything that you want caramelized and then cook without burning, and that's the key. So we'll talk about that more in just a little bit. Let's take a look at the ingredients. Now the recipe calls for 4 6 to 7 ounce salmon fillets. I'm only going to be cooking one today, and I want to make that clear. I'm the only one that'll be eating this, and it's probably more than I can eat as it is. But what we're going to do is initially we're going to put it in a skillet with about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil or avocado oil or maybe some coconut oil, and brown it. And once it's sufficiently brown, we're going to flip it over, put it in the oven. While it's in the oven, we're going to make the sauce. Now, I have all the ingredients here for that sauce. The ingredients that I have here are for 4 slabs of salmon. I'm going to go ahead and make all of the sauce, even though I'm just having one piece of salmon. I want to make that clear. So let's talk about the sauce. We're going to start with 3 tablespoons of water. I have chicken stock here. You could use some bone broth or vegetable stock if you like. 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. 2 tablespoons of grade A maple syrup. We've got about a teaspoon and a half of mustard seeds. I have a couple of cloves of garlic here that I've minced up. And I have some scallions that I've chopped up as well. Got one little wedge of lemon here, and then 1 tablespoon of butter. Let's get started. We'll brown the salmon. I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll do the rest of it. While I'm waiting for the oven to heat up, I want to give you a little overview of what pan roasting is all about. I'm going to cook the salmon fillet in the skillet, flesh side down, until it caramelizes or browns. Then I'm going to flip it over, put the flesh side up now, and place it in the oven to finish cooking. Now there are several advantages to cooking this way. First, by browning the flesh side of the fish in the skillet, it helps seal in the flavor. And then by placing it in the oven, you roast the fillet with an even heat. Now another advantage, and this is a big one in my book, is that once it's in the oven, it doesn't need you to watch it. Set a timer. Pour yourself a glass of wine. I mean, how many times have you been frying something in the skillet and the phone rings, or a guest needs something, or a child needs some attention, someone at the door? These distractions are recipes for burned food. Now I promise you, it's a technique you will use over and over again once you get comfortable with it. It's time to start cooking. I've heated up my oven to 350 over there. I've got my skillet warming up here. I've got it set at medium high. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to salt and pepper my fish. I hope you can see that. There we go. Okay, and get some pepper on there. And now with the pan nice and hot, I'm going to pour in some avocado oil. And in goes the piece of fish, flesh side down. Now here's the first rule that you want to follow when you pan roast. Do not touch the salmon once it's in the pan until it's sufficiently browned. And when it's sufficiently browned, it'll tell you, because it will release itself. If you try to get in there now, it's going to be a big mess. So that's rule number one. You want to wait, and it's probably going to take, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I check it along the way, and you can just check around the edges, and all of a sudden it will start to release. And that's when you're going to flip it over, and it'll go into the oven. It's such a temptation to want to get under there and flip it over and get it in the oven as soon as you can, but you really don't want to do that. Yeah, it's starting to come along now. See that? Now it wants to lift. Yeah. It is ready to go. I'm going to flip it over away from me. And you can see it's nice and browned. All right, it's going to go in the oven now. While the salmon is cooking over there in the oven, I'm going to pour all of these ingredients in. There's my chicken stock, my Dijon mustard. I like to get the mustard incorporated into the stock or the water. And then the rest of the ingredients. There's our mustard seeds, our garlic, scallions, and maple syrup. Okay, I'll just mix that up real good. Oh, it smells so good. I can smell that maple syrup and the Dijon mustard. Wow. All right, my timer's gone off. It's been about 3 minutes in the oven, and I'm going to take it out now. So for rule number 2, you want to make sure that you use an oven mitt to take that skillet out. And what you want to do is place it on a cooling rack or on a trivet. And rule number 3 is, I hope you can see this. Let me move this over here. Take the oven mitt and flip it around and put it over the handle, because I guarantee you, you will forget that it's hot and you will burn yourself. And if you're wondering how I know that, it's from years of experience doing this. I'm going to take the salmon out of the skillet and set it aside. Now I'm going to turn my fire back on to, I don't know, about medium-low. We're going to put all of those wonderful ingredients that we made the sauce with, we're going to put them back in the pan and heat them up a little bit. Oh, it smells so good. There we go. All right, we'll give that a little stir. I want to put a little salt and pepper in it. I'm going to turn it off. Stir it up here a little bit. And right at the end, I'm going to stir in this one little pat of butter to add just a little more unctuousness to the dish. I've been waiting for a dish that I could use that word. Get that stirred in. Oh man, it's coming off. It smells so good. Earlier I cooked some spears of asparagus, and I'm going to put them right over that fish, and I've got some zest here that I'm going to put on it, some lemon zest. And now I'm going to pour just a bit of that sauce on there. I put the rest of the sauce in another container so that when we're having dinner together, everyone can put a little bit more on if they want it. So that's it. Boy, I can't wait to dig into this. It's going to be so good. Pan roasted salmon with mustard and maple syrup sauce. It doesn't get much better than this. I've poured myself a nice glass of Saint Veron from Joseph Drouin, a beautiful white burgundy. It's going to go perfect with this fish. I'm so excited to bite into it and see how I did in terms of getting it medium rare, which is the way I like it. You may like it a little more done than that, but I like just a little bit of pink left in the middle. I'll say bon appetit, and I'll see you again soon on the next episode of Luck Chef.